So you felt because I just turned the air on because I'm hot.
Yep.
He's here. How are y'all?
Good.
Lane.
Oh, today is just not a day. Still, been a day. My stack.
Siri, open my record.
They may be an answer. We have a problem with
See that they showed up and changed it to that bus. So look at behind page 2, down to 62, 890, our professional services. They chose to give us nothing. Where we asked for 90,000.
Just give you 500. Personal service.
500 was already there.
Yeah, right.
Hey, how we doing?
Hey, Bobby.
Who? Yeah? How you doing? How you doing?
Up on the side. I'm on the side.
I ain't see you.
Right here.
They took you out like that. They took that down, but they didn't use it.
Like what?
Hey, look for it.
What page they on? Like what they
Yeah, but these people didn't say we don't want to say See on page 2, all the way to the bottom. Professional services. That's where we are, they need 90, top rate on, they said we're gonna give it to us.
They gave you 500.
500 already there.
Good.
So.
And it went to 110.
They took it to 110, right?
They did, but
Just like on page 4, it went back down to 25,000.
yeah.
So if you look at 110, you break it that's the difference right there.
Voting on the original documents. It was in the packet. Whatever was sent last time for exhibit, that's what we go. Commercial deal. Commercial deal. Send it. Okay, November 8th. Oh, yeah.
Spatial computer.
Big time, man. I like that.
Then I got come along and call him Dave.
18 weeks on It's actually just over right there. Morris was nice. And I grew up in Natchitoches.
Is it blue? Raises it blue. And somebody always comes in the chair. I'm on
His version.
5:30, let's get our meeting started. Invocation from Mr. Cheatwood, Mr. Holmes, and Mr. Sage.
Father, we thank you, Lord, for coming for you today. Lord, I just ask that you lead, God, and direct us, Father God. Give us the wisdom and knowledge and understanding that we need, Father God, to do what's good for the parish, Father God, and the business of this parish today, Lord, that we will work together, Father, in unity tonight, Lord. And we just thank you and we just praise you for it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
At this time, I'm asking the council to get your approval to amend the agenda for 2 items that were requested to be on the agenda. The first one was sent in today, but they had their meeting on December 13th. The North Louisiana Criminalistic Laboratory Commission wants you to approve their amended 2024 budget and proposed 2025 budget. And then we have a request to introduce the budget again, 19-3, for the budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2025 and ending December 31st, 2025. And this is to amend the agenda.
So,
I need an offer.
yeah, I'll offer.
Second.
Is that for both of them, or you need another?
Huh? You know, y'all wanna do one at a time, all together?
I was thinking both.
Huh?
One at a time.
One at a time?
One time? Okay. First one is to approve the annual budget for the operation of the North Louisiana Criminalistic Laboratory Commission for their amended 2024 budget and their proposed 2025 budget.
I so moved.
Okay, Mr. Carey offered. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Carey,
Aye.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Allen.
No.
Okay, next, introduce the ordinance 19-3, 2024 for the budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2025 and ending December 31st, 2025.
I'll offer that.
A second.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Carey,
Aye.
Mr. Allen.
No.
That was no.
Hmm?
That was no.
Yeah.
So the crime lab, to add to the agenda to approve the budget for the crime lab,
We always do that in January. Half of every year done in January, so we can move it to January.
It's asking to amend the 24 budget, that's why they need it this month. It's for their to amend their 2024 and to approve their 2025. That's why they asked for it to be put on this month's agenda.
and they're late because they just had a meeting. I know Mr. Harrington told me he's on the board, and they just had the meeting to approve the budget.
You
May
can
I
tell me
ask
that.
a question? I didn't hear what Mr. Chitwood and Mr. Braxton, I couldn't hear their votes.
I didn't go any further because in order to amend the agenda, they all have to say yes, and one no calls it to.
Got you.
Okay, moving along. We have no invited guests, presentation, report to the department heads, interim public works director, Mr. Joey Creamer.
Y'all received my report. Y'all have any questions?
Okay, next, Ms. Sharon Harris.
Good afternoon to everyone. You all received my report. Do you have any questions, concerns, comments? However, I would like to say that the parking on the lot up there was a very good success. We had like 21 prepaid folks with RVs to park. And probably we made close to $2,500 just that, during that time. So to me, it was a success. Everything went well. The attendant, he done a great job of cleaning it up after everything left. So I think that is something that it's a kudos to us to, get that off. And then the program is for the seniors. We are looking at doing something for the seniors in the parish-wide, not just in the city limits, but parish-wide. And that is a fundraiser we have been having, but we stopped having it during the COVID. So now we want to gear up to trying to focus on some things. And as seniors, you all be hearing from us with some ideals on some things that we can do for the seniors of the parish. Thank you.
Did a lady call you asking about parking any other time, like for the
Yes.
other festivals and
Someone called my son,
parades?
and I called them back this morning, and it's for the Black History Parade on the 15th of February. I hadn't spoken with Mr. Salter in reference to it, but they wanted to use it so they can line up in that area. And I told them I would have to speak with you, Mr. Salter, in reference to that, because they want to, like rope it off so no one would park on the 15th there. They would just use it for lineup.
That's on what day, is Saturday?
It's the 15th of January? February, I'm sorry. Black History.
I know you said something about they need some charter buses up there too.
Yeah,
so-
okay. But
But I just want to make sure she
okay.
gave it to you. Okay.
I did speak with her.
Yeah,
Saturday.
That's a Saturday. Okay.
we'll make it.
Okay, thanks. I will let her know.
Julie?
So you have all the normal finance department reports, the check register, your posted general ledger, by fund, by count. You also have the sales tax report from the tax commission. Since our November the 18th meeting, the parish has been awarded a CWEF grant in the amount of $70,000 for the Sandy Point and Bellwood water systems. And we also have a hazard mitigation grant that has been awarded since our last meeting for next year for $77,500 for the reconstruction of Marco Road. Of course, tonight we have public hearing and a vote for the 2025 operating and capital budgets. I had passed out a revised 25 budget for the general fund. Made a move between a couple lines that were requested by Mr. Cheatwood and Mr. Allen at our Friday the 13th discussion about the budget.
What two lines is that?
What's that?
What two was that? Because we had two on there, but
In
we
the
don't see the two.
Here, you can pass these around. In the meeting, you asked for one line to be moved, and you asked for $90,000 for another. We did move the council salary for the clerk, but we did not fund the $90,000 in professional fees. So, got all of one. Here we go. You can pass them out if anybody wants to come. That's that is as it is presented tonight. I also have the forms that Mr. Allen and Mr. Cheatwood presented, if you would like a copy of those. Also, we have a resolution or a request for a signing of an MOU for Homeland Security and our bids for supplies and materials for 2025. Anyone have any questions? Here's another.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions? Everybody's good?
Planning and zoning? Mr. Salter?
What's that? Oh, okay, y'all want the good news, bad news first? We're laying asphalt on American Way and Independence today, should be through tomorrow.
Right.
Courthouse security, we're about 40% done. They're doing some revisions now. We talked about last month in the meeting, taking the brick off the west wall until we decide if we're going to get the money. So I talked to the superintendent yesterday. He told me that they called him and asked him to give them a price of just putting the metal all the way. So I told him that was good news for me, because somebody has maybe think we're going to get funded to finish with the other courtroom. It's gonna be bad for him because he's gonna lose money, but, I had something else to talk to you about, and I can't remember what it was. It was pretty good. I'll think of it. I went down today, they were like 2/3 on one round coming up American Way, Independent.
Uh-huh.
So that'll be through tomorrow, and we'll move on to the other two, Patrick and Riverview.
What's the bad thing? You said there was something bad? Nothing bad?
Oh, yeah, we got our first bill from the detention center since we don't own it anymore. It didn't go up for $35,000 this month. That's all, just 35,000. I don't know, we're gonna have to do some benefits, I guess. That's all I got.
Okay. Adopt the minutes of the regular meeting of the Natchitoches Parish Council held Monday, November 18, 2024. Can I get an offer?
I'll offer.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Cheatwood?
Yes.
Mr. Braxton?
Yes.
Passed. No old business, no new business. First introduction of proposed ordinances. Council to introduce ordinance 24, 2024, commercial vehicle enforcement for the commercial vehicles operating in the parish of Natchitoches, along with the creation of a commercial vehicle enforcement unit, CVEU, that shall enforce applicable ordinances adopted by the Natchitoches Parish on all roadways.
Give me this one.
Huh?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, there
Oh,
were
okay.
two appointments.
One appointment, I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
Actually, there are two. Well, I'm sorry. That's a heading. The appointment.
Council to approve the appointment of Mr. Preston Broadwater to the Waterworks District 2 Board. I'm sorry about that.
I'm sorry.
Offer.
Offered by Mr. Allen, can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Allen,
Yes.
Mr. Cheatwood,
Yes.
Mr. Carey,
Yes.
Mr. Braxton,
Yes.
Mr. Holmes,
Yes.
passed. Now we to the, first introduction. And I left out, at CVEU, that shall enforce applicable ordinances adopted by the Natchitoches Parish on all roadways maintained by Natchitoches Parish. It shall be vested with the authority to direct, control, and regulate all traffic in the parish of Natchitoches, commercial CVEU.
I'll offer that. I second.
Mr. Holmes,
Yes.
Mr. Carey,
Yes.
Mr. Allen,
Yes.
Mr. Cheatwood,
Yes.
Mr. Braxton,
Yes.
passed. Council to introduce ordinance 28, 2024 to amend the parish personnel manual to include CVEU officer job description and salary range. I need an offer.
Offer.
Second.
Mr. Carey,
Aye.
Mr. Allen,
Yeah, here. Yes.
Mr. Holmes,
Yes.
Mr. Cheatwood,
Yes.
Mr. Braxton,
Yes.
passed. At this time, I will ask for a motion to go into public hearing, then I'll read both of them, and then we'll discuss each one individual.
I'll offer.
Mr. Holmes,
Second.
Mr. Allen, Mr. Holmes,
Yes.
Mr. Allen,
Yes.
Mr. Cheatwood,
Yes.
Mr. Carey,
Yes.
Mr. Braxton.
Yes.
It is open. I'm gonna read them, then we'll go through discussion. First one, council to adopt ordinance 27, 2024 to effect a zoning amendment of parcel number 0010186291 to business 3, B3 zoning for the purpose of an insurance and used car sales business. The property is in section 32, township 9 north, range 8 west, with a physical address of 6756 Highway 6. Natchitoches, Louisiana 71457, as shown on the survey attached hereto, approved by the Parish Planning Commission on November 4, 2024. B, council to adopt ordinance 19-2, 2024, an ordinance adopting the budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2025, and ending December 31st, 2025, and for capital budgets and making appropriation for each department, project, and account. We'll go with discussion from A. First, we go to the audience. Do you have any comments on the zoning change for B3 to zoning for the property in section 32 Township North, Range 8 West, with the physical address of 6756 Highway 6?
Are these people here?
Let's see.
Just asking them.
Yeah, I was just asking. Council, do you have any discussion on A?
This has already gone through the planning commission, so it's been approved by them.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
B, council to adopt ordinance 19-2, 2024, ordinance adopting the budget. Audience, do I have anyone want to make comments on that at this time? Council, do I have anyone want to make comments on this time?
The comment that I have is,
Mr. Davis.
go ahead.
Okay, this is likely the most important thing to come before this council this year. And it has been delayed and delayed and was delayed again tonight. And if this ordinance does not pass tonight, I just want to point out, the next time we'll get to vote on it will be February. I'll be pushing that, but we'll have to introduce it in January. And so, I think we should pass it tonight.
Okay, any more?
I have one problem with what the treasurer has decided to do, and that is not give the council the dollars that they need to move forward with projects they have on the table at this particular time. And professional services, we listed that we needed 90,000, so that if we come up with something that we need to do, we don't have to say where in the budget should it come from, because before, when we asked about a particular issue, which was the summer program, basically it says that where are you going to get the money? And it came out of, I said, what one is that? General fund, because that's where it had been taken from in the past. I don't understand what is so unimportant about giving us on a line item something that can be put in the budget somewhere else, because we looked at the revised budget here, and on page 4 it talked about, we looked at an item that they had said that they needed with temporary workers. Said we didn't care, leave it as it was. It has been reduced up from 110,000 to 25,000. That's $5,000 less than what we were asking for. We can't operate without that. We just approved the ordinance 024-2024 commercial vehicle enforcement, and if we don't have the money, that program will not go as planned. Yes.
So, let's take them in order. First, the $90,000, any kind of answer on what it's for?
We've given you the answer.
No, you have not.
We told you that we needed for software and startup for Mr.
No. Software, yes.
And Mr. Carey's project.
No.
Yes, we did.
No.
We did.
Software, yes. You have asked for software. The CVEU was never discussed until today. Now, the software I have
Is it professional services?
is it professional services, and I have that here. So, here is a copy of that, and that is only 50,000 at best. But the problem with that is that it does not meet ADA compliance. So we're going to spend at least 50, if not more, on just the software. Plus, we need monitors and tablets. So our problem with this is that it doesn't get us in compliance with ADA, which we have to do by 2027. So we're going to have to turn around again and find a software and buy a software that will get us in compliance. This software was presented at the city with the thoughts of the council moving the meetings over to the city chambers. The city does not want the software, and it doesn't meet the requirements. So that is why it has not been put in the budget. And we've discussed that multiple times.
And we have 8 other parishes. Closest to us right now is Red River, I think, parish, that are using the same program. They love it, and it's working. Okay, just telling you.
Okay.
Okay. Secondly, I had a meeting for an hour and a half on Friday, starting at noon, with the mayor, and the mayor has said, "I support what you all are doing. When you get it ready for me to sign, I'll sign it." Now that's my
I understand.
this is my conversation with the mayor on Friday in an hour and a half meeting, one-on-one with him. Okay.
I understand. And I have an email that says that as until Friday, it hadn't been discussed with him for months, that he thought the issue was dead. Number 2, this software right here, all it does is take attendance, does the minutes and the agenda. That is all.
It's $10 for the first year.
And we have a council clerk that does that now. So are we going to relieve her duties to do the software?
What we are attempting to do is to satisfy the needs of these parishioners that are sitting out in the audience right now. You're saying no, sir, and you don't even know what I'm gonna say yet. Can you let me finish, and then you say, well, or not? Okay. We want to make sure that every person who lives in this parish can attend these meetings firsthand, and they don't have to come in this room or any room and do it. We need to bring those meetings to you. We went to a police juror convention. This is where we met with the open meetings folks. Police jurors have already investigated, the association has already investigated these folks, so they wouldn't have had them at their session. And they are saying, this is what we found that will do what you all wanted to do, give you what you want going forward, and you should use it. I guess I'm in the wrong meeting sometime with those individuals that I think has your best interests at heart.
Okay.
And that's what we're trying to accomplish. We have to have the software, we have to have the things to do what we needed to do. And all we're asking for is a line item, so we don't have to go and do a lot of work, take it to purchasing and say, purchase this particular item for us and get, well, we don't have any money. It's not on the, it's not in the budget. We put it in the budget and it's there. If we don't put it in the budget, then you're just out there loose without anything to do. Yes, ma'am.
as a voter in this parish, I don't need you to bring the parish council meeting to me. I have a truck, I can make it here. I
Okay.
need to be able to drive up and down the road. I
Understand.
okay? So,
Understand.
so am I halting? Am I stopping? Or do I answer that? Do I need to go further?
Go further.
Also, as a.
First, ma'am, can you come up here and state your name and stuff?
My name's Lori Baldridge. I've lived in this parish. Lori, L-O-R-I, Baldridge.
Thank you, Lord.
Lived in this parish all my life. Been here 46 years. I'm sorry, I'm not real quiet. Been here 46 years. I have a hard time understanding why we need to spend money to get the agenda and the all this done. I work in an office where I work for 4 units. I have 31 people in the department that I work in, and I prepare an agenda from 4 different units. I do minutes for 4 different units. I type those myself, and I don't have software that does that for me. If we have a person that's paid to do that job, I don't understand why that's an importance for the software when I can't drive up and down the road to my house. As a voter, you said you need to bring this to the voters and the constituents of this parish. I think we need to put that money toward what we need rather than an agenda.
And once again, this software does not bring the meeting to the people out in the parish. It does not make virtual attendance possible.
Does not make it ADA compliance.
It does not make it ADA
Which is the whole
compliance.
point of it.
Well, that's what we're mandated to do, and this doesn't do it.
And we have to sign a 5-year contract
And the
with that software.
second thing is, there have been many things that the council has asked for that wasn't in the budget. That the president didn't say, no, you can't do it because it's not in the budget. What we did was, those things that were in the council's purview, we funded them, and then we came back to the council and asked for a budget amendment. So you have not been told no because money was not in the budget. Ever.
Yes, sir.
My name is Justin Lester. I live in District 4. So
Did you say your last name? What?
Lester.
You related to Ben?
Not gonna be saying. Anyway, I live in District 4. So this that you are bringing before us, and the reason that the budget is not getting approved, something that, as you stated, that is not even in compliance. Anyway, I can watch every parish council meeting. Natchitoches Parish Journal posts it. I can watch it live. That costs $90,000. The issue today is getting this budget passed because the people of the parish, at least I can speak for me and a lot of my district that's here, and the reason that they're here, want this budget passed so we can get on with getting our roads fixed, being able to make our roads passable. We're not worried about a software, or at least I'm not, and a few of these that said no, I know you called me out, but a few other ones said no behind me, and I'm glad you called me out for the fact that I needed to get up here and talk anyway. But anyway, I think that, think about the people tonight. Quit worrying about a software, quit worrying about all this. Think about the people. The people want the budget passed. We want to be able to go move forward in this parish to get things done. And I would appreciate it if each of you would just consider us tonight and please pass this budget.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would just like to point out that software does not fall underneath professional services, so even if this $90,000 line was put in, software doesn't fall under professional services, so that wouldn't make that any better. The CVEU is not professional services, where you pass an introduction to create the job description to pay for that. That's not professional services, so that still doesn't answer what $90,000 is for.
Thank you. Yes, Mary Ann.
I'm Mary Ann Mahler. I've been a resident of Natchitoches Parish for some 83 years. When we had this last election, I had a phone call with Mr. Marty. We discussed the new president, and he told me at that time that we was gonna work together, that our parish had to go forward. I keep up with the parish council meetings, like he said, by the parish journal, and I have seen nothing but argument ever since he was elected. And he was elected by the majority of the people, whether I like it or not. Marty, I don't understand. Did you research your no vote before you voted no? You did. So you throwed your whole district under the bus when they lost all of our CWEF money for the water system and the roads that you was gonna fix. All that's gone, right? It's not gone? Explain it to me. Have you reconsidered? Answer me, Marty. I supported you twice. Come on, talk to me.
There's nothing I can say to change anybody's mind. Y'all are dead set on one thing, and that's one thing.
I'm dead set on passing the budget to get our parish
What I
going
say.
forward. Are you?
Have you seen the budget?
Yes, yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir, you can ask me anything you'd like.
What is the difference between the end number of the 2025 budget and the?
Just got it, I didn't have a chance to look at it. My problem is the water system. I don't like riding on rough roads, but I stand for water. I fight the water system for some 20 years.
So what's going, you saying your water system's not gonna function?
I'm not gonna get my CWEF grant, you just heard them read it. How much was it?
$70,000.
And it's gone because somebody's not
I didn't hear,
satisfied with the budget?
I didn't hear it say anything that grant was hinging on, whether or not the, budget is passed or not.
Yes, sir, it's gone.
Why
We can't spend it.
then in our home rule charter, it states, if we can agree upon a budget for preceding year, okay, we revert back to the numbers that we had for the previous year budget,
That's right,
okay? So we still have a budget. We still can operate.
but
It's
you
not-
don't have that.
Don't have what?
Your CWEF grant for 2025.
Grant is not going anywhere.
Well, so you gonna promise me I'm gonna get my $70,000?
I don't see why you should.
Sir?
I don't see why you should.
Are you promising her?
Okay. Are you promising me I'm gonna get my $70,000 for my water system?
I can't promise you that.
Ms. Lockhart needs to explain that.
And no one can promise you that.
Yes, I
They say
can.
it's been
I
granted.
got it.
I
I
Okay, so
did
you,
the paperwork.
okay, your turn.
Okay, so the CWEF grant has been awarded. Mr. Salter has signed the agreement. It is in the bank. The problem is, any revenue that was not budgeted in 2024 cannot be expended in 2025 because we'll be on the 2024 budget. Does that make sense? So if that money wasn't in the 2024 budget, even though we have a budget, we don't have a budget that includes that grant. We don't have a budget that includes capital outlay for Goldana 300. We don't have a budget that includes this hazard mitigation. There's a lot of things. Capital outlay, as far as going forward, they are waiting to hear from me to issue the money to start on Goldana Road. So as soon as we can tell them we have a budget, they they'll cut us $400,000, our first disbursement to start for planning and engineering. So, yes, other thing that Marianne doesn't know.
Security as well, $4 million.
Yeah, and we, our increase in the DC budget's not in there.
What?
So, in the last, remember our ARPA money when I said if every water system pulled their money that we would be short? Every water system has pulled their money. We need a transfer of $200,000. I think it's 200.
It's
Is it 200,000 or 250,000?
It's 100.
From the general fund to the ARPA fund to fulfill our obligations to 3 water systems. That is Sandy Point, Bellwood, and Waterworks District Number 2. Without this budget, there's no money to make them whole. So, that's another concern.
You see why I'm concerned, Marty?
Yes, ma'am, and I understand what you're saying, Sandy.
Well, I would appreciate if you rethink your vote.
I fought for your water
If
system.
you're not for the district, resign.
Who fought for your water system to begin with, Miss Mary? You got
Okay.
$634,800.
That ain't enough.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll take Miss Marianne's, point of that's not enough, okay? And that's all we're saying under the council is for us to function the way the council wants to function. We are not being awarded enough money to do what we need to do, okay?
Tell us what it's for. Tell us what it's for, that's all we're asking.
We have several projects that we are working on, and I can disclose the first one is we want to have a council room where we can conduct business and everybody does not have to listen to somebody come tell them their story of what's going on. You need to see what's going on in this parish firsthand. You need to hear it through your ears.
I drive it every day firsthand.
And so you do it, okay? But there are a number of people in this parish, and one of our senators was the one that says, I wish you could make it better because I can't attend the meetings like I want to. I'm in Baton Rouge, and I want to be there, okay? So I understand that you have the ability to drive to the meetings, and that's fine, okay?
No, I mean, I drive the firsthand every day.
I understand it, and thank you for that. But there are other people in this parish who do not have that particular luxury all of the time, okay? So we need to get better. We need to work with the college and do some research on certain things. Right now, we are looking to get jobs back into the parish versus outsourcing. Right now, we outsource our engineering work for planning and zoning. We want that business back in the city, in the parish, okay? But we have to work together with the city to do that, and that's what we are attempting to do. Some of this is for things like that, and also for the communication that we're trying to do. Why should we, right now, we don't have enough room in here barely for the number of people who would like to come.
They can sit in my lap. I got 2 legs.
And that's fine for someone who wants to sit in your lap. But the city is inside of the parish. We are the parish council, okay? I'm trying to finish with this lady right here. We'll get to you, sir.
She's already answered that question. This software doesn't allow people to view it
Well, guess
virtually.
what? Guess what?
And I'm just saying
The
what she's
people-
already said.
I understand what she's already said, but is she right?
Evidently, yeah.
Why is she right?
Because you done research.
Okay, you tell me why she's wrong.
Because I've talked to the software people, the same software people that we're getting this from, we know what we want to do, okay? We know what we have to accomplish, okay? We would, and she did not reject this, the president did. The president said, you're not getting anything, and I quote, he says, I'm wrong, correct me, I don't care if you ever pass the goddamn budget.
I didn't say goddamn, you lying son of a bitch. I did not.
There you go.
Wait.
You
There he is.
Sit
I
down.
don't use the
Just
Lord's
fired
name.
up, ain't you?
I sure am.
Yeah, just fired up.
You don't sit up and lie on me, dude.
Let
He
me,
lying on you.
Yeah, you did. I did not use the Lord's name in
Yes,
vain.
you did.
no, this is Saul.
Need order.
So I've talked to your software guy, and you know this, and he agrees that it does not get us in compliance. It doesn't help anybody in this room watch a meeting, attend a meeting.
And it's not professional services. It's not professional services.
Okay.
It's not professional services.
Everything you're asking
So-
for, Bill, is not in your lane anyway. It don't have anything to do with the council. You're trying to do my job. You want to flip the government
I
where
don't
you'll
want
be
to
in
do
charge.
nothing. I don't
You
want
want to flip the government where you'll be in charge.
I'm reading the home rule chart. I think a lot of you all should read it in detail, okay? Understand what the council's responsibilities are. This council in the past, up until January of this year, has not done what they're supposed to do. Ms. Marty, you talk about us having a problem. We have not had an issue in any of these meetings. People have commended us on how well and how orderly we have had our meetings for the last 12 months, okay? Okay.
Okay. Can I speak?
This is the first time we've had differences, yes.
This is the first time you've seen them because they've been in work sessions.
There you go.
So the fighting happens in the work session, so it looks like everybody's getting along in the council meeting, number one. Number two, if we use the city council chambers, they're not gonna give them to us for free. So on top of 90,000 or whatever you need for software or whatever, that's more money that's gonna go for more things for the council that could be used for roads or something else. OCS. And that is the truth, and there's nothing but the truth to that. You know as well as I do that they're not gonna allow us to use their facilities for free. So that's just gonna be more money that we're diverting.
Of course not.
Why is that?
Because the only thing that they need us to pay for is an IT person, and we're gonna work with the college and use students to do that.
Once again, they're not gonna give it for free. Nobody gives anything for free. And to Mr. Salter's
What time they
point,
give it to free?
the city's not gonna give us for free, and we're not gonna get interns for free.
Well, I guess you need to go over and tell the president of the college that he's lying to me. Okay?
I can talk to him.
Talk to him.
Okay,
I
so
have several-
the most important thing is there's a legislative branch and there's an executive branch. Legislative does not negotiate contract, does not sign contracts, does not do those things. That third party permitting was sourced by you and was approved by the council.
What third party?
Rapids Area Planning.
No, it was not.
You approached them, or some of the
No, I
council.
did not.
Who did? Wasn't me.
It was Mr. Carey.
Well, that's a part of the council.
Didn't say Mr. Carey. Don't say
I didn't know if it was you or Mr. Carey.
It was the council.
But that is how we got Rapids Area. Your council voted for them. So don't act like Mr. Salter's going out and getting third party.
Why did we do that?
I guess you didn't like IBTS.
We are gathering data.
Show up.
Gathering data and negotiating a contract is two different things.
Who said we were negotiating a contract?
You did.
When?
For Rapids Area Planning.
No, I did not.
The council did.
The council did.
God needs to-
It wasn't purchasing, it wasn't the president, it wasn't the treasurer. It was brought to
Why do
the
we
meetings
Why do we
by
have
the
to
council.
approve the stuff?
Because
if
it's checks and balances, just like in the government. You have a legislative branch that passes laws and gives them to the executive branch who executes them.
And so
But the executive branch negotiates, signs contracts. It's not something that's done. There's no checks and balances when the council goes out and negotiates it and then approves it.
never said they did.
Never said they did what?
That the executive branch did not sign the contracts.
No,
You gotta have a contract for it. You can have something to be signed before it needs signing. And
Exactly.
there's a process with that as well.
there is a process that was circumvented.
Have you ever seen the thing as big as that? Seriously, just plain.
Sir, Mr. with the white hat, I'm sorry.
Reed Franklin from District 4, Mr. Cheatwood's district. I have a couple of questions. How much money are we holding up the budget over? Is it 90,000?
90,000.
How much is the lack of passing the budget? How much money is being held up in grants and whatnot because of the holdup of the budget? How much money total?
70, another 77. What, Marty, 4 million on, build on the 300?
How many? 4 million?
4 million.
4 million and something.
Yeah.
Have been held up over $90,000. How much of that is in Mr. Cheatwood's district alone?
All of it.
The 4 million plus the 70, so.
So he's voting no on the budget
Or
over
has.
and holding up $4 million plus dollars.
Because Bill
Why? I'm curious. I think everyone wants to know.
It's not just Mr. Cheatwood's.
Well, his vote
the
it's directly affecting us and him. And I have a right to ask him.
Okay.
So,
I did, you didn't answer me.
Right? I'm not here to argue with nobody.
I'm not arguing, I just want an answer. I don't even argue, I just want to hear it.
I'm not holding up $4 million. That road was put on capital outlay and picked.
So this road's gonna go through without the budget, right?
No, it will not.
No,
She
we gotta
says
put up
no.
$1 million. That's all we gotta put up, $1 million.
It's not budgeted.
It's not budget.
1 million, not 4.
Is that road, is that road on capital outlay?
Yes,
That
it
road
is.
is on capital outlay.
Yes, it is.
It's in House Bill 2.
In capital outlay, do you understand how capital outlay works?
Yeah, I do.
How does it work?
I don't answer your questions.
Okay.
You answer our questions.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Then Mr. Cheatwood doesn't answer your questions either.
Yeah, he
Nobody in the
does.
council.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
We're voting him, we
Okay.
vote him out.
I like it. Hey, that's the same thing we can do with every other council member here.
You said earlier, you're here to do the work of the people.
That's right.
Now do the work of the people and pass the budget.
You are just a small fraction of those people. No one in my, no one in my.
Really? You saying nobody else wants the budget passed?
You work for us.
Listen, sir.
You hear me? You work for us.
That's right.
We're taxpayers.
You didn't you stood up on something that you weren't listening. I said, I said, you all are not the only parishioners in this parish. That's what I said. Okay? You all are parishioners, but you are not all of the parishioners in this
So
parish.
you think the rest of them don't want a budget passed, and they don't want a road fixed, and they don't want
That's where the
the other
taxes
grants?
passed.
You're telling me that?
No, I'm not.
Well, then why would you even bring that up?
You brought it up.
No, I didn't. I
Okay.
didn't mention anything about how many in here are the only ones.
We don't have to argue.
You're arguing,
Yeah.
I'm not.
You have been heard.
Well, let's pass the budget. Let's do something right for the people and not for y'all. This is something y'all are, some little inner conflict here, over $90,000. Pass the budget and quit doing this little politics you got going. Thank you.
Anyone else?
it's not anything else, can I get a motion to go out of public hearing? And second,
Second.
Mr. Allen,
Yes.
Mr. Carey, Ms. Carey,
Aye.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Cheatwood,
Yes.
Mr. Braxton,
Yes.
and we out. Now we go to action. Council to adopt ordinance 27/2024 to effect a zoning amendment of parcel number 00101862291, and that's for the B3 for the zoning.
I'll offer. I'll second.
Mr. Carey?
Aye.
That was you, Mr. Hall? Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Cheatwood?
Yes.
Mr. Braxton?
Yes.
Pass.
That was for me, guys. Thank you. I'm gonna let y'all have it.
He was here, apparently.
That was, yeah, the affected party, yeah.
Yeah, he was here.
Okay.
Poor guys. Poor
Council to adopt ordinance 19-2, 2024, an ordinance adopting the budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2025 and ending December 31st, 2025, and for capital budgets and making appropriation for each department, project, and account. Can I get an offer?
I'll offer the motion.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Carey,
Aye.
Mr. Holmes,
Yes.
Mr. Allen,
No.
Mr. Braxton,
No.
Mr. Cheatwood.
No.
Resolutions. A resolution authorizing the parish president on behalf of the Natchitoches Parish government to enter into addendums and amendment to the joint agreement with the city of Natchitoches and the Natchitoches Parish School Board. Can I get an offer?
I'll offer.
Can I get a second? Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Allen,
Yes.
Ms. Carey,
Yes.
Mr. Cheatwood,
Yes.
Mr. Braxton.
Yes.
Passed. Other agenda items, council approved the signing of the memorandum of agreement with the state's Office of Cyber Readiness and part of the Governor's Office of the Homeland Security to facilitate cyber readiness.
Offer.
Second.
Mr. Allen,
Yes.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Cheatwood,
Yes.
Mr. Carey.
Yes.
Mr. Braxton.
Yes.
Passed. Council to approve insurance for the parish including but not limited to health, retiree, supplement, mental health, dental, vision, and life policies.
Offer.
Second.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Mr. Braxton?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Cheatwood?
Yes.
Passed. Council approved insurance for the parish including but not limited to workmen's compensation, auto, inland marine, cybersecurity, property, and public official liability.
I'll offer a motion.
Second.
Mr. Carey?
Aye.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Cheatwood?
Yes.
Mr. Braxton?
Yes.
Council award bids for the following highway/solid waste items.
Offer.
You got Silty clay soil, Elite Dirt Contractors, 60/40 clay soil mix, industrial, stone riprap, 55 pounds, industrial, iron ore, industrial, pit run, industrial, 16 base Madden, 57 tone Madden, and cold mix Diamond V. Can I get an offer?
Offer.
Can I get a second?
You're gonna do them all at once.
Making more difficult.
Mr. Hall, Mr. Allen,
Yes.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Carey,
I didn't say that.
Ms. Carey,
Aye.
Mr. Cheatwood,
Yes.
Mr. Braxton,
Yes.
passed. At this time, visitors for non-agenda items.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to be here, Mr. Salter, and all the other members of the council. My name is Donna Masson, and I'm a member of the Natchitoches Parish Veterans Park, and we had some problems that I think some of you are aware of that came up. There was a construction company that came in to do some work, and they went into the park and did quite a bit of damage. What I'd like to talk about, first of all, is the removal of the two large high voltage containers that are there on the property. Instead of putting them next to the courthouse or behind the fence, we have a gate, they put them a third of the way into the park, which takes up the area where we have our programs. And you can't have seating around it because, first of all, on the side of the containers, it says danger, high voltage, like don't touch it. So we can't even put people there. Also because of if you have a child running by, grabbing the pole or whatever, you know, it's just too dangerous. People with pacemakers, and of course a lot of our veterans are quite old, and so we don't want anybody passing out during our programs. The second thing, it damaged a lot of our memorial bricks. It's a shame because the families paid for these bricks, and we have over 800 bricks now in the park. We're proud of that. We've worked really hard to establish it. But there were at least 37 bricks that are either broken, scarred, or in some form have concrete acid on them, concrete blobs on them. All of these will have to be removed, and then we'll have to put in new bricks. The third thing I want to talk about is the cost for the brick mason to come in and do this work. And the fourth thing would be to purchase the plants that were destroyed. They dug up our beautiful plants that we'd worked so hard. The master gardeners had come in and helped to do this work with the council members. And so we now have to work on getting that solved. Also, the thing that we realized is that there's cracked concrete, where they drove over the equipment. The concrete itself between where the bricks are laid is also cracked, which I don't even know if we can do anything about that because that would mean taking all the concrete out. But that was another damage. Like I said, the main thing we'd like to discuss with y'all maybe today, later time, is how we can get those voltage boxes moved. The second thing is the 37 bricks that we found will cost $200 each to get engraved and put back for a total cost of $7,400. The brick mason will charge $30 per brick to take out the brick and then reinstall another brick. And we'll need $300 then for his supplies. So his purchases would be $1,400. The purchase of the Asian jasmine to replace in the area where they dug it up would be $100 for that. And then purchase of 3 bags of mulch at $12, for that would be $36. And then another $50 each for both fertilizer and soil. The plants around the flagpole, they just ran over them. I mean, just ran over them. And the good news, I guess, is because we had planted daylilies there, some of them are coming back up. The will of God has brought them back to life. But the gardeners have said that they will come in and do the work for us, the master gardeners, and won't charge us anything for that, and we will help them do that, so that will save us a little there. The use of the heavy equipment, as I said, has cracked a lot of things in there. And for some reason, it looks like that the mortar around the bricks has popped up. So there's going to be more having to be done there. I think what they did, besides running the equipment over it, was then they came in and tried to cover up what they did by power washing it. Well, you can't power wash when you put in a mortar and sand around a brick, because that just makes it erode. So it's just really a mess. Anyway, the total cost and for this would be $7,400 for the bricks, $1,400 for the brick mason and supplies, $236 for the plants and supplies, for a total of $9,036. And what I'm asking is that we hear from you, was the contract that you entered into with Sunscreen, did that contract say that they would be responsible for damage, or is the council responsible for damage?
I spoke with the engineer, and he didn't know if he was responsible, the architect, but he told me he would be happy to take care of whatever his part was. I don't know if we have insurance. I don't know whose part, who had the contract on that. I think, the contractor that was around there was a subcontractor, so he would work for somebody else. Okay, so I went in there today and looked at, the boxes that they set in. We can move that fence on the other side of it, and then move the gate where you won't see those again, and it won't disturb any area that you have used before.
That would be wonderful.
Okay, so the light grout that you're talking about, that's gonna be an easy fix there. But the ones that's broke, they will have to be dug up and replaced.
Right.
The plant, and Julie had something to say.
We still have retainage on the contractor, so we haven't paid them completely for everything, so
Okay.
we can have some negotiating room.
Yeah, I feel like however it comes out to be, I just need a copy of the total bill to
I have a
present to
copy
somebody.
of everything I've said to give each one of the council members so that you'd know. I didn't want to leave anybody out, and I guess maybe the treasurer needs a copy. If y'all could pass those around.
Thank you.
Thank you. And really and truly, I guess I have to say this because I am the wife of a veteran, and I'd like our other park committee people to please stay in so that they can be seen. They're here tonight. We all have given a lot of time to the park and to our, and what really upset me the most, and I talked to Mr. Salter about this, is the disrespect they showed. I mean, they just went in there, and I can't begin to tell you, and most of y'all have family members who have bricks in there. And going in and just not having any regard for the fact that this was a veteran who, most of them are deceased in their memorial bricks. There are some there that are in honor of. And we take great pride in the park. And we're so happy that we could work with, at that time it was the jury, and now the council, in getting that established. So we appreciate all of you and all the work you do, but we do need your help in getting this solved. So thank you very
I'll
much.
be back on it tomorrow.
Okay, thank y'all, and I
Ms.
appreciate
Bessel,
it.
we're so thankful that you're here to tell us about it, and we're thankful for what you do for veterans, especially me as a veteran. I appreciate it.
Right, thank you. And if those of you that haven't been to the park, you need to go by and look, and you'll be able to see what I mean.
We came through it on the way in.
Yeah, I looked at it.
Okay, good, thank you,
I
sir.
have
And I have the names of all of the veterans that the bricks will have to be changed, but I didn't put that on the list, but I assure you that there's 37 that have to be done, and some that we'll have to look at closer. But I think that would make it work for the veterans and for everyone on the park committee.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else for non-agenda items? If not, get on.
There's a gentleman in the back.
First of all, as a 54-year resident of Natchitoches Parish, proud resident of this parish, and a veteran, I certainly appreciate the generosity and the way that our request for the park committee was received tonight. However, during this meeting, I was extremely disturbed. I have been in a number of positions and capacities throughout my lifetime. I put at the top of the list, pastor. I heard the Lord's name used in vain tonight. And I don't know who did it, because a column was blocking my view. And frankly, I'm glad it did, because I think, in my humble opinion, anyone who would do that does not deserve and should not deserve all this money. Thank you.
That was right there. He's the one who used the Lord's name in vain. Didn't you?
Sir,
Didn't you?
sir,
Hey, I have a right to speak too, sir.
What's your name, sir?
you want to come up to the podium?
You know, I'm a pastor too.
You wanna come up to the- you wanna come up?
That's disrespectful. I'm a pastor too, sir. That's disrespectful for what you've done.
Well, I apologize for repeating something that your parish president said in a meeting, okay?
No, you said
I
that.
am sorry. I said I will repeat what someone said. That's what I said, okay? Go back and look at the tapes and see exactly what I said. Maybe you heard something else, but
Come out of your mouth.
it did come out of my mouth. You're absolutely right. It
You
came
didn't
out
have
of my
to
mouth.
repeat that,
But
sir.
look, I don't use that in my conversations with anybody. But if I have to say, if I have to tell you what somebody else said, I will tell you. I will not lie and say they said something else when
Come
they
out of your
said
mouth, man.
That's fine.
Was it necessary
Okay, now.
for us to know what he said?
Closing remarks, okay? We have about 16 more days in this month, okay? So if the executive branch wants to get this budget passed, we need to sit down and work out a difference.
Hold on.
Motion to adjourn.
No, wait. It's really important. It's really important because we cannot take action on the budget again if we close this meeting tonight. We'd have to start over again, which means we wouldn't, even if we called a special meeting, we'd still have to wait 30 days before we could move on to public hearing and
It'd be 60 days, yeah.
yeah, we're still gonna be into 25. Mr. Allen said that we have 16 days left, and we could, if the executive branch wanted to, we could readdress the budget, but we can't, right? Because it was voted down tonight, and it would have to start the process all over again, correct?
I think that's what Mr. Holmes was attempting to do. But even if it would have been passed tonight to introduce it, it still would have to wait another 30 days for a vote. And because Mr. Holmes' motion was denied, was not allowed to be on the agenda,
Right.
it can't be introduced until January, unless there's a special meeting just for the introduction, but it would still have to delay 30 days.
So we'd have to have a special meeting in December to introduce, and then another special meeting, because there's not 30 days between now and the January meeting.
Right. So there'd be 3 meetings to address that meeting.
But you just had a meeting Friday, I believe.
We had a
Yeah, that was
budget discussion, it wasn't a discussion.
That wasn't a meeting of a public body.
Could you as a group vote to reconsider? Somebody make a motion, we would consider the vote and then vote
Can
again
somebody
tonight?
tell us what the real reason for the denial was? Because y'all didn't get the $90,000, is that the only thing that's holding it up?
What it
Pretty
sounds
much.
like, yeah.
Pretty much. I ain't gonna tell you that.
That's exactly what it sounds like. If we give y'all your 90,000, then y'all gonna pass the budget?
No. Hold it up. It's a
What's the
possibility.
90,000 for? Yeah, what's the 90,000 for?
for a software, and they gonna sign a 5-year contract.
That's
and
not
all that.
professional
It's only
services.
good for 2. That ain't ADA, whatever that you gotta do
Nope.
again in 2 years.
The budget line item says professional services. Software is not professional services. Even if the 90,000 was put in the budget, you cannot buy it under professional services. The money would not come out of that line item, so it can't be for software. That's smoke and mirrors. What's the 90,000 for?
Mr. Bobby.
That is hiring somebody to do a job that's professional services. Engineer, lawyer, what is it?
Mr. Bobby, what is your opinion of it?
With the budget? I think we should get the 90,000. If that ain't the way it go, if it ain't, that ain't the way it go on the line, we put it on the right line then. That's all you got to do.
Right, and that's what we're asking.
I passed budget and I ain't
Mr.
wrote.
Bobby, can you explain to me what the professional services is?
What the professional service is.
Yes, that's what the 90,000 is for. Can you explain to me what that means?
That's what-
Professional services. I did it at Northwestern, and it was like a contract for somebody. Is that for another employee, or is it, what is it for?
No, that's not for no another employee.
What's it for?
He told you, so you'll be able to.
Just the software?
No, it's more than the software. You
She's shaking her
must-
head, she's shaking her head yes, and you're saying it's more than just the software. So what is it? What is the $90,000 for?
for the software.
They
And
just
get-
told you you can't buy the software under
Well,
the
put
$90,000.
it in the right place where it need to be, where we can spend it.
It doesn't matter where it can go, if it's being
Yeah, put it in the right
denied,
place.
it's a mute, it's
I
mute.
think the reason it's being denied is because nobody can tell what it's for. You keep saying professional services, but software is not a professional service.
Not a service at all.
I mean, I fully believe that transparency would help your cause here, sir.
Explain to the president what you want, for what, let's put it in the right line item. If we get it in the right line item, we get way closer to getting it approved than just, you want 90,000, you're saying it's for software. We've told multiple times it's not professional services. And all we keep getting is, put it in professional,
Put it
we
in
want 90,000
miscellaneous.
in. No. No.
Like Jason.
Oh, no. You can't do that.
And I mean, like
Okay.
you know, like they say, like a blank check, I mean, that just went on the ballot just the other day. And the people of Natchitoches Parish voted that down. 73% of the vote voted no.
For what?
For a blank check, for to do what you want to do with
For the
it.
council.
Everybody voted against that. And I understand that was for hiring people, it was a different thing than this.
No, it was
But this
not.
is pretty much the same.
No,
the same deal.
No, it was not. No, it was not.
Yes, it was.
That was to hire who you want,
Well, that's
when you
what he
want,
said on
pay
the
them what
ballot.
you
I don't
want.
care what it said on the ballot, that wasn't what it's for.
We got it.
Mr. Bill, it did say
What is-
hiring for
what
it.
is-
Let me tell you, Mary Ann,
Right line, Judy?
I'm gonna address Mary Ann on this, okay?
It did say.
Listen, Mary Ann, just give me a second, okay? Give me a second, okay? For years, the council that I haven't been on all the time, and some people in this room have, Brent, have at that time been on all the time. The council had always put together a summer program for kids to get summer jobs, okay? That has gone without a hiccup all of these years until 2025. 2024.
That ain't right,
And in
Bill. That ain't right. You tell
Here
him
we
the
go.
bull. That ain't right. The police jury did it. It wasn't done under the council. Tell it like it is, Bill. Tell it like it is. If you're gonna tell something, tell it right.
It was done under the council since I've been in this parish, okay? What happened years past, I do not know, okay? I sat on the parish twice, learning, being a new person, and Mr. What's his name?
Chris Page.
Mr. Page
Chris.
Page, and them would always do it. 2 years prior to 2024, we had people. 1 year, we couldn't get enough people, but it was still there. We, meaning the parish, could not get a person for the summer program.
You gotta pay them $90,000 for the summer.
No, this is a different thing, ma'am. This is a different thing.
Okay.
Okay? We had the program, we got the number of students. When it came to us getting a student, the executive branch says you can't have one because you can only have one person. What do you mean? What's changed from all of the other years? Okay? Now, they said we couldn't supervise. That was fine. They had 2 people out floating. I don't know who was supervising them, but they could have gotten an assignment. So we went to the president and asked him, what do we need to do to be able to fix this? He said you have to put it back on the ballot.
Why?
And get the voters
You
to
talking
vote
about
to
me?
change.
You talking about this president?
Yeah.
I hadn't told you to put nothing on the ballot, dude.
You told me, you told us, we can pull back up the date that you
Pull it
said.
up, Ms. Watkins.
And it says that we have to take it back to the voters to change the home rule charter because the home rule charter.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Let me finish. That's right. So in order for us to change the home rule charter, we have to get it voted on. I made the phone call to the people that I found out that you're supposed to go to for something like this, and it's a law firm in New Orleans. Matter of fact, I was in Florida at the time. I explained to the guy what we had to have. I explained to him exactly what we were supposed to do. He says, I will work on it. It's too late to get it on the ballot for the presidency, but it looks like we can do it in December. They wrote the language. I told them that language doesn't make sense. That's the way we have to do it. But everybody in this room that had anything to say about that knew. So we were going to go out word of mouth and tell everybody, here's what we're trying to do. All we're trying to do is get a person for the summer program. That's all we were supposed to do. You got a different story, and a lot of people got a different story. Had nothing to do with all that hiring and all that stuff.
It was on the ballot.
But we don't have the authority to write down all of this stuff. Okay?
This one's mine, baby. This one's
It said at the discretion of the council,
know what it
decided by
said.
the council for the pay, the whole 9 yards, the way it was.
I'm just telling you, Marianne, that's how it happened.
Okay?
Okay, that answers why it was on the ballot. That still doesn't answer what the $90,000 is for.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Are you saying the proposition was incorrect?
The wording
The
was
wording
misleading.
incorrect, but you still-
The wording was misleading.
But you still put it on the ballot?
And passed it. It
Yeah,
asked for it.
that's my question.
It had to be approved by this body before it could be put on the ballot.
At what point did you know that the wording was incorrect, Mr.?
When I first saw it.
And you didn't change it? You let us pay $10,000 to put it on the ballot and you didn't change it? That does not make sense. A, B, and I'm pretty sure that I stood right there at a meeting when that was voted on and specifically asked what the position was for, and you, out of your mouth, we can roll back the tape. I got this one.
Okay.
You said it was nobody's business, and once it was voted on and approved by the people, then you would tell what it was for, because I stood up and said, I want to know, as a voter, what you're asking me to pass, and you said, after it's passed, we'll tell the people what it's for. Exactly.
Roll it back.
I will roll it
Let's
back,
put it
and then
back
we'll
on
roll
now.
back if it went. I want to know if it went, and you knew it was wrong. You still let this parish go to ballot for something that you thought was wrong. So if it would have passed, then what would have happened? But now we've incurred debt for that election of at least $8,000 for something that isn't even what the 5 on that council wanted. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Sorry, I'm shut up.
And you're gonna hold up over $1 million in grants over some, because you don't get a summer program?
No,
Or you, or over $90,000?
Did we have the
This
summer
doesn't
program?
make sense.
Did we have the summer program?
Do you know how budgets work?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so what on a budget is in stone, other than, a projection?
When you pass it, it's in stone.
When you pass it, it's in stone, the total. So that means you can move money around inside that budget any kind of way you want to.
You're
Okay.
gonna hold up
I put it like
$1
this.
million in grants over $90,000. That's what you're doing.
4 million. 4 million.
4 million, I'm sorry. 4 million. No? I see some people shaking their head no.
So the home rule charter says that once a budget is set, that the president can move between lines within a fund. So that means if it's in OCS fund, the only way money can be moved into or out of Ms. Sharon's grant is by amendment to the budget. But if by the council. But if Sharon had put in $10,000 for a piece of equipment and then she goes, we really don't need that, then Mr. Salter can move that to something that she does need. But that is only a presidential thing. It can't be moved by the council just between lines. A budget amendment by the home rule charter is one if you're out of compliance 5%. So if your expenses are going to be 5% more than what it was budgeted, it is required to bring it back to the council and have a budget amendment. If your revenue is going to be 5% lower than what you said, it's required by law, by the charter, to bring it back to the council. Other than that, the other way the council can amend a budget is if there's a total change of operations. So if, God forbid, never, but if they decided we're going to get rid of our OCS and we're not going to have it anymore, that requires a budget amendment. Okay? So just because it's in a line item for the parish council doesn't mean that they can move it and use it wherever they want to. Unless it's in miscellaneous. That can be used for whatever they want it.
How convenient, that's where they want it. However, that still doesn't circumvent the purchasing process. So even if the council has $20,000 dumped in a line item, we still have to follow the policies and procedures. Even if there's $90,000 in professional fees, they still have to follow the policies and procedures, and those have to be procured the correct way through Mr. Salter's side of the government. So put it where it goes, say what it's for, let's go. Let's be transparent. Let's don't dump it in professional services if we want to buy software. Let's don't and let's discuss it. Let's put it where it goes. Let's move on. What do you really want? Tell us what you really want. No smoke, no mirrors, no 'cause we want to. Tell us what you want. If you don't have it today, you just said it's a fluid budget. If you don't have it today and you don't know what it is, let's pass it and fluid it on later. If you come up with software that will do what we need, will be ADA compliant, will meet our needs, and we won't have to have 2 of them in 2027, well, let's go. Nobody's ever said no, you can't have. If it's something that's reasonable, makes sense, and is a good expenditure of our money. But we don't just write blank checks like the past election and throw money at people. Let's be good stewards of our money. Let's take care of it. That's what we're all here for.
I just don't see losing, I just don't see our parish losing that kind of money over sour grapes. I just don't, I can't comprehend it. I just keep thinking about these water systems.
Mr. Cheapwood, there's a bunch of us in here that are in your district. Explain to us why you will not pass this budget. And don't shake your head, because I know you got a mouth. So speak.
You live on a parish road?
I sure do. Staggen Road, Albert Staggen Road, so does he, so does she,
I know
so
he
does
does.
she.
I know they do.
Gonna know it real soon.
So explain to us why you will not pass this budget. We all want to know.
Real question is ask them if they're gonna be transparent, ask them where they spent all this money for equipment.
But that don't have anything to do with us.
It come out of your
Yes,
money?
they do, it come out of
Yes,
your
it did,
money.
too. We
So
got
you
a
have a
zipper.
problem with how the parish has spent money on equipment?
Where did it come
Is that the
from?
problem?
No, ask them where it come from.
You don't have a problem with why are you asking us about it then? If you don't have a problem.
I don't have a problem with it. We just don't know how much money was spent. That's the problem.
Reiterate on that, Mr. Chief?
Yes, yeah, I mean, I don't understand, Marty, explain it to me.
A zipper, $323,000 for asphalt zipper. $107 for escalators. $21,000 for a gooseneck trailer. $42,000 for a steel roller.
We don't need that, I mean, the parish didn't need it.
So take your asphalt road back to gravel. Ask him what it's paying.
Mine is
Ask where the money come from. It wasn't in the budget. He passed that budget in 2024. Ask him where he got his money from.
Number one, it wasn't his budget, it was the previous president's budget, number one.
He passed it. I didn't say it was his budget. I said he passed
When's the last
it.
time you bought equipment?
But, okay,
So-
so like what?
Well, what's that got to do with now?
Because y'all want to be transparent.
Look
Keep all the
the other
transparent.
thing is, how you gonna keep up roads and work on roads and do the work of the parish without equipment?
How you gonna buy it if it ain't in the budget? It wasn't on no budget line.
Didn't Julie just explain that he can move between lines and buy stuff and the money was in the budget? Because if you didn't have to do a budget amendment, the money was there, allotted, and he made the decision to move the money where he felt the need to put it and buy equipment to move forward.
As long as the bottom line.
And we did not
Approve it.
You don't have to.
say anything about that. We saw it happen, okay? And all we're saying is the parish has initiatives that they're working on with the city, initiative that we are working on with the college, okay, to better this parish. But now, all of a sudden, we have to explain every little detail of what we're gonna do with a small $90,000 line, okay? That's well within the budget.
You know what needs to happen? Everybody that lives outside of the city of Natchitoches needs to take every penny they got in every bank here and take it somewhere else, and pretty soon you would get down on your knees for us to come back and bring our money back so you could do something. Hey, look, I'm a retired school teacher. I started teaching here in 1970, Vietnam veteran. I have sat through meetings at the school board and through the police jury all these years. Look, if it was left up to me, I would have a secede from Natchitoches Parish, and we would form our own parish on the other side of the Red River and not worry about y'all. Y'all don't care about us at all outside the parish.
Marty, that don't sound.
So, there was a work session to question the accounting and the auditors of the accounting.
I thought we had an audit. I thought
We did, and it was clean. But you can go back and look at where this was brought up in, what month was it, Marty? At least July or August. We had an inquisition that I stood right there and answered question after question after question about where the money came from, where it was going, and all that. Marty Cheatwood has 5-6 months of bank statements that shows every check that the parish has written. So what did you find? Where's the fraud? Where's the corruption? Where's the smoke and mirrors?
Yeah, I asked you about that, Marty, remember?
It's not there.
That bank account don't even exist no more.
Yeah, you want to explain to them why it doesn't exist anymore?
You can.
What did you
Okay.
say, Mr.
So-
Chairman? It's hard to hear. What did you
The bank account doesn't exist anymore.
That banking account doesn't exist anymore. That is absolutely true. So after Mr. Cheatwood got all the bank statements with all the account numbers, we had bank fraud on that account.
2 weeks later.
We had to close that account because it was out there and it had been used fraudulently. After that, Mr. Cheatwood asked for more bank statements, and I pleaded not to have to produce them, and I offered to lay them all out here. We could go through every check, every whatever, but we did not want to take the chance of having another fraudulent
Activity.
withdrawal. They were taking checks and making fake checks.
Was that the young man that worked in the office?
Now that was before. Now this
was outside.
Yeah, this was people taking the checks and using them through electronic deposit, because you don't have to present a check, paper check for electronic deposit. You just take a picture of it and the bank processes it. So that's how they were doing it. But that is why the account is not open anymore.
So for the 323,000 and whatever the other numbers that Marty spit off that purchased things that they claimed wasn't needed or wasn't whatever, did the president have the authority to make those?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And that is items that belong to the parish that's used to fix the roads, mow the ditches, haul the whatever.
And Mr. Cheatwood was all for the zipper, just for the record.
For the 90,000 is what we're saying to start with. Now, we're talking about we're holding up the budget because he spent money to buy equipment to work on our roads with. They can't fix these roads with a shovel. They can't fix it with a square point shovel. The can has been kicked down the road for so many years, for so long.
It's exactly what it is. If he had the authority to make those changes, and he can say, okay, this piece of equipment belongs to the parish,
What's wrong with that?
if he has the authority to do that.
The roads that were in 2024 were upgraded, and they did a fantastic job. Okay?
Where at?
Where do you?
Our road? Is that what you're talking
I
about?
said in 2024.
Cause you ain't about 6 months from having to put a truck 4-wheel drive on Hart Road.
Yes,
When
sir.
they went across them bottoms with that crawfish mud,
Sir.
that road ain't gonna
Sir.
stay. I can tell you that now.
Sir.
Ain't gonna stay.
You said
Sir.
2024, Bill?
Sir, 2024.
Like right now.
Right now.
No, 2024 started in January and it ends this month, okay? I'm saying that the road maintenance in 2024 was definitely upgraded and done exceptionally well. From the feedback that
I don't know where you live at.
I will say the roads are better than they have been before we got a new president.
And now we don't want them to have equipment.
Because I live down there.
You said
We
before.
finally got a parish president.
Oh, you said before you got a new president? Or
No,
after?
I did not. I said since.
Since you got,
Since this new
and
council.
that's exactly what I'm saying. Hart Road was done in 2023 under the previous president.
Was it, Bill, why are we dragging our feet and not trying to go forward?
We are trying to go
Sour
forward.
grapes,
We are trying to go forward, okay? It's being perceived that we're not trying to go forward, but we are trying to go forward, okay? But you have to have working capital to go forward.
Tell me what's gonna happen to that money that's hanging out there. Tell me what's gonna happen to it.
If I may ask something, just to use these words. The people that's in here today, I know everybody's voicing opinions, and that's good. All of us in here today, parish residents of this parish that chose to come here and fight for what we believe. I haven't heard one person on this side say, we do not want this budget approved. Everyone here.
You got one what?
I have not heard one person say that they did not want the budget approved. The people that showed up tonight, am I correct? So, you had spoken earlier, you made a statement earlier that we are only just a few of the people of this parish, right? All right. Well, the others that you are supposedly working for or trying to do whatever, they didn't show up to say, hey, I'm one that don't want the budget approved. We're here for that reason. We want to move forward. We do not want to lose this grant money that we have for the Gold Honor Road, for the water systems, We do not want to lose that over $90,000. I realize and understand that $90,000 to three of you on the council is a big deal to get what you want. I do want to publicly say thank you to Councilman Hamlin, Councilman Carey, for doing what the people have asked them to do. I appreciate that. I appreciate you do, it does not go unnoticed. But we're just asking, if you, before we even leave here tonight, I don't know how all of it works, if it can be brought back up or how that goes.
Can be brought back up.
So it's gone,
Go on to the next time.
so the grant money is gone.
No,
It is.
It's in an account, you just can't use it.
You can't use it because, but it is not, so by not passing the 2025 budget, we revert back to the 2024 budget, and it's not in the 2024 budget to receive, to get the
and
go down the road stuff done.
and when we decide as a group to pass the 2025 budget, then that money will be there.
But that's not gonna be until you get what you want.
Right.
And you won't tell us what it's for.
Right.
And it may not be there. I mean, they may change their mind. If we can't do our stuff correctly, they may say, the capital outlay, we're gonna go to the next person.
Well, I wanna ask something that you said while ago, Ms. Lockhart, about those ARPA money. Are you trying to tell me that all that ARPA money is not there?
No,
No, it's gone.
What?
What do you know, Marty?
What do you, what?
It's
Tell
how
me
short, it's how short we're gonna come up with ARPA money. That's why we're gonna have to get $200 more thousand put over there. She told you that.
I did.
Yeah, that money's gone.
It's not all gone.
Well, if it ain't gone, then why are we adding more to it? Taking more out of the
Because
fund?
as the document that you're looking for will show, is what we have obligated ourselves to, what is available as of now, and what we will have to have, as I said, to make those people whole.
Mr. Bobby, do you think you're confused with being a new member of our council with these other two being so opposite?
They ain't opposite.
They're not opposite?
No, they got their right to vote the way they want it, just like I do.
We got our right to get ass out.
Appreciate it.
We are. You headed there, I promise.
And you the only one that, you want me to read your post? Say,
Bobby, would you reconsider your vote?
It's very evident that he's got a personal agenda rather than working for the
Can I
people.
go ahead?
We have a lady at the podium.
I do have a question. My name is Deanna Fowler. I am definitely a resident, well over 50 years now. My question in previous boards that I have sat on, the one thing that you, as stewards, that we have to also be aware of is when the extension to these grants are, and when will they expire? And is it going to be in the next 2 to 3 months? That's my question. Because if you're sitting on it that much longer, you have to take that into consideration. And that's what I would ask. Thank you.
It's true.
Oh, Lord. Well, then how would we get the other money to put back to them?
To put where?
Back in ARPA money?
The only way we can do it is a transfer, which has to be approved by the council.
Well,
That's one of the things that is clear, is that no one, the president, no one can transfer money between funds without council approval.
So how was the equipment bought without the council approving?
Because
that?
no funds were transferred, it was in the budget.
Okay.
It was moved from another budget line to, but
In the highway
it was already in the highway department.
and y'all have a problem with that?
So we'll lose
Bill?
on this one?
Oh, you don't?
We didn't have a problem with that, they did it.
Oh, I
The
thought.
only problem we have is they refuse to give us any operating expenses for what we wanna do. So it's like, you guys rubber stamp what we say, the way we say it, and we'll move on, okay? That's not the way the home rule charter says we're supposed to operate. We're supposed to be doing certain things that we have not been doing.
Y'all heard the word
Which is-
won't, he didn't say need, he said won't.
Actually, won't is will not.
Well, I will not,
No,
because
that's
I'm not gonna
W-O-N
give in to
apostrophe
you for
T.
something that
That's
you
not
don't want to use.
W-A-N-T.
So,
You're won't, there's two different ways to use
I
that
don't wanna see the council playing like a bunch of kids. You don't give me what I want, I'm gonna take my toys and go to the house. That's exactly what they do.
You're holding up $4 million plus, over 90.
And 70 of it's
Come
mine.
on, let's get real.
And never been told no when something they wanted was in the budget. Wasn't in the budget, I'm sorry.
It made sense,
It-
it was
it-
reasonable,
Is this a
and
grudge
was
against
equitable.
Mr. Salter?
Yes.
I mean, that's what this sounds like. It's like, y'all don't like
It's a
Mr.
grudge
Salter.
against
Could
Yeah,
we
because
try that
we're
again?
not
So you're
gonna
gonna punish
Amend the
us.
agenda.
This man's busting his ass to help us,
see,
and
you
y'all
should
just
have
holding
waited
him
till
back.
after we voted on the thing, like Mansour said. But you wanted to jump into it in the beginning beforehand. You can't go in and amend something that has not been.
You keep saying no.
Can you amend the agenda now?
I don't know if we can go back and do it, but that's
Yeah,
what he
you-
said we should
yeah,
have
you can
been
amend
able
the
to
agenda
do.
now.
You can, but they're not gonna
Then bring
do
it
You
up
have to have
for an
a-
introduction.
Unanimous, right?
What?
They're not gonna, it's not gonna be
The
unanimous.
budget again.
Tonight,
No,
Mr.
'cause
Carey,
that one up there is gonna
would you
be
repeat what you
To
just said?
introduce it for consideration in
I
January.
I mentioned that they amend the agenda again, they can put the budget on an introduction basis for tonight, which means it would be for the public's viewing for 30 days, and we would vote 30 days from now for this budget again. That would give us 30 more days as opposed to doing it in February, okay?
But if y'all don't go along with them, it's gonna still.
Well, I'm just saying, it's just another bite at the apple. We're trying right now.
Yeah.
Give them more time to work together.
Maybe that would give the council time to put it what the money's really for, put it in the right line item.
It just needs a name.
So, Mr. Hall,
Needs a name and
Would this-
place.
Would this be agreeable to Mr. Cheatham
Let-
and to Mr.?
well, let him introduce. Let me ask.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So I move that we amend our agenda again to include the introduction for this budget ordinance. Same wording as before.
I'm just gonna change the ordinance number to 019-3.
Okay.
I'm sorry, would you repeat? It's hard to hear y'all.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
He asked to reintroduce it, and I told him we can reintroduce it, but I have to change the number of it instead of to the 0192 that was, denied. I would change it to 019-3, 2024.
So the motion is now a new motion to introduce a
So the
new budget.
Introduction number.
So can I get
So-
an
We gotta amend the
offer?
agenda first.
Then we got to amend the agenda, so we're going to try
Can
to
I
amend the
get an
agenda.
offer to amend the agenda
I
with the
offer
new?
to amend the agenda.
Second.
Mr. Carey,
Aye.
Mr. Allen,
Aye.
Mr. Holmes,
Yes.
Mr. Cheatwood,
Yes.
Mr. Braxton,
Yes.
passed. It will be introduced tonight with a new budget number, and it will be voted on in January.
No, that was just to amend the agenda, now we gotta
Yeah,
take a
that was
vote to
amending the
the
agenda.
introduction, ma'am.
Yeah, so now we'll do the roll
Let's
call.
go roll call for actually put it on.
I offer the motion.
Second.
Mr. Carey,
Aye.
Mr. Holmes,
I'll second.
I second Mr. Carey, Mr. Allen,
Oh, yes.
Mr. Holmes,
Yes.
Mr. Cheatwood,
Yes.
Mr. Braxton.
Yes.
Is introduced tonight and be voted on next month.
Okay, Mr. Braxton, Mr. Cheatwood, and Mr. Allen, is there anything that this group can do to change your mind or anything?
Convince those that say we aren't gonna get anything to give us operating expenditure.
For my clarity, that I need to know, what line item will software go under?
Software.
Just be software completely as a line item?
Am I correct in saying a professional services is like a contract for?
It's usually an architect, a lawyer, engineer.
Faculty.
IT person, but we have, just for the record, we have an IT person under contract already. So we do not need an additional IT person, we have one already.
But professional services, do we have like that contract?
Yes, you're right.
Personnel.
Yeah, personnel, yeah.
Okay, since it's been introduced and everything, and no more questions, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Christian,
Second.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Allen,
yes.
Cheatwood,
Yes.
Braxton,
Yes.
Harm,
Yes.
Carey.
Yes.
That's what we're trying to tell you in the beginning, there was nothing wrong with it.